12 and a half, so we need to start looking for our exit.
Okay, sounds good. Exit stage left. Okay.
Yeah.
We got a little bit of leeway there. And mine, they're at spot too, Alex. Okay, there we go.
By the way, I've noticed, I looked at Bruce's YouTube channel earlier. In 3 years, he's managed to get around 52,000 views.
52,000?
Yeah, we're at 38,000.
I was very impressed by that number at first. Then you said where we're at. I'm like,
We're putting in quite a bit of effort.
we really are, yeah. But how many does he do a week? Or I mean, is this his job?
He doesn't do any shorts or anything like that.
Shorts and stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Like that'll average like 400 or 500 views every short.
Yeah, except for those last couple.
The golf
Yeah.
ones? Or
No, there's a couple that got posted yesterday and today that kind of stalled out pretty quick.
Commies.
Bastards.
I know. Well,
But we were getting between 400 and 450 on almost all of them.
Our golf was pretty electric. That should get a lot. The dual shots, it somehow found the freaking green. Oh, have they really? Well, we got to talk some golf then. What do you know about golf?
Fucking golf, man.
We'll talk about it next week.
Fucking golf. Yeah, you guys have probably go down and talk about the Olympics with all the shenanigans, the dude with possible penis. Yeah, no, probably not. And then the opening ceremony, all that. I'm like,
So I looked up that
man.
Ben Whitaker guy more because I was enthused by his ability to not get hit. Did you watch that video?
Yeah.
It's fucking wild.
That does bode well for boxing. When you can hit the other guy.
Apparently, he won silver in the 2020 Olympics
Oh, okay.
when he was like 17th.
Damn. Just think what Floyd could do if the Olympics paid better. I would have had some good content on the Biles one, but the Netflix idea, like when we talk about sports documentaries.
She got silver on the floor today.
Yeah, she was 3 for 3 on golds and then kind of fucked up at the end, but you know, that'll happen.
She got a fourth and a
The
second.
balance beam, which is her. Oh, she did get fourth on the balance beam?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. I just knew she didn't.
Even though she fell, she still got fourth.
Well, she's pretty good, so
Yeah.
there you go. Are you ready?
I'm ready when you guys are.
Are we ready? That's an important question, I guess. He's ready for anything.
All right.
Here we go.
Don't forget to go live on my phone.
I found that interesting, coming from Oklahoma State, last name Holiday. No relation.
Yes.
Well, you know. You had to look, though, didn't you?
Yes, absolutely.
And then we got Pittsburgh last.
I do. I think the dark magic is over. I think
it's over.
I think it's over. I don't think Mike Tomlin can just continually being that team that wins 9 or 10 games and makes it into the playoffs every year. It's done. It's gone.
He's won 17 years in a row.
Yep, it's not happening. The dark magic's done. This year, though, I've got to win 7 games.
Oh, we struggle in all aspects of school.
Yeah.
We had PE down. That's about it.
And lunch.
He and
I was ready to lunch.
That has stayed true to form, hasn't it?
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine.
Good evening,
Hello.
and
Yeah. We're both
good evening,
excited,
and
yeah.
welcome to an episode of Benchwarmers Basement Banter.
A very special episode,
It is a
too.
very
Yeah.
special episode. Today is the day that we have finally surpassed the 500 subscribers that we've been talking about for about
About as
month.
long as we've been in this Wabash studio, yeah.
Yes.
Which, thank you,
we actually
Wabash.
passed it earlier in the week.
Yeah.
We're also on TikTok. We're trying to get 1,000 followers on TikTok.
So
we're
we can
on
do some
Twitter.
cool stuff, right?
We're on Instagram,
Yeah.
and we're going to be doing our giveaway for the 500 subscribers on YouTube. We've
And-
been talking about this shirt giveaway for a while. It's
right.
finally happening.
Here it is. This is for you lucky subscribers. So
Yes.
pretty cool.
So we've
isn't
got a
it?
list
Yes.
of people that show that they were subscribing,
is
and
courtesy of my
or
wife,
people
too,
that
by
we
the
just
way.
knew were subscribing.
Yeah.
So, Alex, if you would, stat man, go ahead and give us a spin and find our lucky winner.
There we go. This is exciting. Like, I know they can see it right here. Like, look at this. The colors. I don't know.
Is that Mr.
I'm amazed.
Jaron Lee.
Yeah,
I
congratulations.
spelled his name wrong.
you'll have that.
Congratulations,
Heart's in the right
Dan.
place. Congratulations to Mr. Lieb is right,
Yes,
correct?
Mr. Lieb.
We'll just go with that. So here's what you win again. Like I said, this is courtesy of my wife. She did all the artwork, and she's kind of the unofficial brains behind this operation.
She is.
When it comes to that stuff. We got the sports down, sort of.
Yes.
But here you go. This will be in the mail. Yeah. or something
Absolutely.
like
Yep.
that
We'll
comes
get
to you.
that mailed out, and you'll
So-
expect it later this week.
Yes, and we really appreciate everybody. YouTube, like, subscribe, TikTok, subscribe on that, however that works. TikTok's more.
Yes, we
up
are
your alley.
about 450 followers away on TikTok from being able to go live on a PC, which is a big thing that we can do to kind of help us grow on another platform.
Oh yeah. So
But
we've got,
without further ado, I think
Yeah.
that's enough plugs for us.
it was. So thank you guys, and we'll talk baseball.
Yeah, that's
we'll talk some
right.
baseball. Yeah, and we got football coming up in the fall more, but right now we're going to talk about that trade deadline.
Ooh,
Some
the
exciting-
trade deadline and who won, who lost.
Yeah.
The Rays, of course, made some moves, and they did.
Rays
they
are
did.
gonna Ray. That's what they always do. That's all I gotta say. You can't really say they ever lose a trade until it's like 5 years later. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's like,
and then you find out
there's-
they usually won.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
But
This
let's start
no-name-
with what's near and dear to
Yeah.
our fans and our localness is the NL Central.
We're gonna talk. Yeah, we're gonna start with the Central here. We'll do the Central, then we'll get into our winners, then our losers, and kind of our outlook the rest of the season. But the Central, which we touched on last week with the Cardinals trade, 3-way trade, very
Yep.
creative. Got to give kudos to Mo for once. I mean, they got Fetty and Pham from Chicago. Here, LA got Edmund from us, and Oliver Gonzalez, an unranked prospect of ours, 17-year-old.
A throw in, hopefully.
I hope so. Yeah. Dodged one of those teams. It's like, what did they see in him?
Exactly.
We'll see. Yep. And the Dodgers, they got Edmund, Kopech, Michael Kopech. That part could be dangerous.
Yeah, well, good thing that we weren't giving him up.
Exactly. Yeah. No, you're right. The White Sox, the only name that really stood out to me is Miguel Vargas. They got Miguel Vargas of the Dodgers. Very solid prospect. It was not that long ago. He was a top 5 prospect.
Yes.
Top 10 for sure, baseball. And it never panned out. But it's kind of like the thing we saw with Dylan Carlson here. Like when you don't have consistent playing time. Now on that team, it's pretty justified when they're winning 100 and some games a year. Like,
Right.
son, you got to hit the ground running to play.
Speaking of which, Carlson's already homered.
We don't want to talk about that.
Okay,
we
cool.
were going to get to that. Okay, let's go. Easy Seabiscuit. Yeah. All right, we did. Yeah, that's our other trade. This trade, though, honestly, I think it's a win-win deal for us. We loved Edmund. We've talked about that. Respect his game. Didn't really have a fit.
No,
Like-
he would have found a place to put him. I
Yeah.
don't think that he was really had a spot to just kind of move around. He was just going to be.
He was a
plugged in and play.
utility guy, but the thing of it is, I don't think he was enough of an upgrade of what we currently had on the field
Agreed.
to not sacrifice. We needed a starter, like hands down. We needed a starter. We needed pen help. And I mean, in this trade, I am so sorry. I said Pham earlier, didn't I? Like that
You did.
could be.
He
the
homered
biggest part of the
tonight.
trade.
This
It's
is,
Tommy
this
Pham.
is August 6th, I believe.
he-
Maybe 7th.
Yep. He can get stabbed. Walk right off that thing. Like this guy, I'll tell you what, he brings an element to his game that we needed on this team. I mean, he does boxing in the off season just so, hey, if someone messes with me, I'm gonna take care of business.
Hey,
We need an attitude like
He holds
that.
everyone in the room accountable.
That's right. It might be a little crazy, but we need that on this team. When you got,
Yeah.
our leaders like Goldie, Arenado, pretty quiet. Tommy Pham, he's going to put you in your place. Like, he's very honest. I think that's underrated on this deal. Like, he was kind of a throw-in. Chicago's like, you'll pay him, not us. Okay.
Cool.
There you go. Cool. We don't like paying people. We're winning 20 games this year, so we don't want to pay for that crap. So, but we needed. He was that right-handed bat off the bench. Now, it'd have been great if he could still play center like he did years ago. Like, I'm not saying he won't be out there at all, but he's 36.
Right.
Fetty slots in as possibly our number 2. Him and Gibson right
Didn't
in
really
there.
look like it last week.
Well, you'll have that. So we're going to try to be optimistic going forward. Like,
believe we went
I'm
4
like,
innings, gave up 5 runs.
it's great you're here. You don't have to pitch like the guys who got here, okay? You're in Chicago. Like,
Do not pitch down to their levels.
yeah, exactly. I love the trade for us. The Dodgers, Edmund's a very good ball player. Like, the bottom of their lineup, be a good piece when he's healthy.
The Edmund is going to help that team.
Yeah,
I don't know
absolutely.
if he's necessarily going to have a spot there either, or if he's just a rental.
They're pretty well, they have him under contract next year, and like that was the thing. Mo's hands were really tied. Like I'm not a Mo defender most of the time.
Yeah.
But when DeWitt came out, we want to get better, but we're not going to increase that payroll.
Well, we actually decreased it.
We did, and that's what was amazing. Like when you have stipulations, constraints on you like that, to be able to pull off a deal like this, where you actually shed salary, that makes it even more impressive. Like that.
The fans are happy and the owners are happy.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
hopefully
Mo
we have a
did
better
all
product
he
on the
could do.
field.
Yeah.
I hope. So, like I said, the Kopech's the one that their pen has struggled for the Dodgers, and I'm going to keep an eye on that. Like, he's got electric stuff, fastball, slider combo.
Guys tend to pitch better when they're trying to win games.
That's why I was like, get Lubov out of there. Like, see what he can do.
Considering the White Sox have now lost, did they lose today? If they did, it's their 20th in a row.
I think it's 21
record.
or 2. I don't even know they're trying to win games. I really don't. But it's bad. And you touched on earlier the Carlson trade. That's the other one. Like, kind of had to happen.
We kind of gave him up for a bag of peanuts. Hopefully, our reliever we got,
Sean Armstrong.
he comes back to 2023 form.
Yes. He actually had a pretty good year last year. He's through his career. He's about a K per 9. If he was a lefty, I'd been more excited.
Yeah.
It's like, I got a lot of those guys. But, it's a deal where we had to do something with him. Like, yes, you could have sent him back to the minors. What was that going to do? Like, we've been down this road. Like, Carlson's time here was kind of spent. Like we said the last episode, like, I don't view this as the same situation as Randy A. Randy A didn't really get a shot here. Carlson's been up since 2019, into the year 2020. Like, he's had plenty of chances. Injury, bad play, hadn't got there. So I'm going to give him a pass on this one. Like, he's in Tampa, so sure, he's going to probably go bananas. 2020 guy, penciled in.
Yeah.
But, his time here was done. We were just going to squander him. So
I think we had already kind of started doing that.
And you saw the reliever market. What some of these relievers went for was stupid, like the Tanner Scott deal. I really think this was probably about all they could get for just him without dipping into the minors pool.
Yeah. I think that Alex said that the day of the line when we traded him, that the Angels and the Nats were both interested in him.
They were.
But they both wanted prospects as well, and they wanted something to make it happen.
And they got pretty good hauls for their relievers. Like, we'll get to that later, but both of them did pretty dang good. And we didn't want to go there, so we'll see. We got to talk about the Cubbies, too. Like, we're local, Southern Illinois area. I mean, they're right up there. Hopefully every year we keep beating them, but, we got to give them some love. They got Paredes. I like their thought process on this. Like, they're not.
I actually thought that was a great trade for them when they made it.
If you didn't see Christopher Morel going the other way, I'll tell you what, this guy, like, if you look at the analytics, don't be total nerd guy here. The dude hits the ball hard.
Yeah.
He's got some underlying stuff that Tampa Bay, I think they saw, and they're like, oh, look what we could do. Like, I'm not saying this guy is going to be Randy A-like contributions. I don't think it's crazy to think he could do that. Now, he can't play defense. It's pretty bad.
Yeah. Who needs that when he can hit the ball?
Yeah, just put the ball over
He'll still
the
win a
wall.
gold glove if he hits 45.
Well, Marcelo Zuna won a gold glove, so that's all I got to say about that. But, that intrigued me because Paredes, he's a very good hitter. On paper, like the surface numbers, I thought this actually was awesome what the Cubs did. Now, I like the concept. Like, they're not winning, but they didn't just say, oh, we'll just sell. They got creative. Mm-hmm. Like, Paredes is under control for another 3 years, I believe.
Okay.
That's super smart. Now, the thing of it is, I like their thought process. I don't really care for the player and the fit here because he's got good numbers, but he really sells out. He's a heavy pull hitter for his power. I don't know how well that'll play in Wrigley. And I feel like guys like that, it's
Javier
like,
Baez did well in Wrigley.
for a little while.
He was fine over there.
Brady's, they're not the most similar players, I don't think. Because, like, Brady's done have a K problem like that.
Okay.
But I'm just curious to see how that works. But you know what? We'll see. I like the concept. I really like an underrated deal they got. You remember the name Nate Pearson?
I do.
Nate Pearson, yeah. Stud prospect of the Blue Jays. He was top 5, at least, right-handed pitcher, all of baseball.
Yeah.
They got him. Yes, a lot of injuries. Prospect glares kind of flamed out.
Okay.
But what's killed them all year?
Their pen is atrocious.
It's atrocious.
It's terrible.
That could be why they're not up there with us. It's feasible to look at that. Mm-hmm. It's a big arm. Throws hard. He's in the pen. He's not going to start. Like, breaks down. That could be interesting to see if he can solve their closer issue down the road because they got a few more years in him. I love that move for them. Like, I'm very interested to see where that goes. They traded Mark Leiter Jr. to the Yanks. Made sense. I really like what the Cubs did as far as buying and selling. we'll see if Christopher Morel goes bonkers in Tampa.
He's definitely got that kind of explosive bat.
Yeah, and he landed in a spot that they have had a pretty good track record of doing that.
Yeah.
So, Milwaukee, they got Aaron Savale a little earlier in the trade deadline.
Yeah, they got him about a week before the excitement happened.
Yeah. I mean, Milwaukee, they just kind of did what Milwaukee does. Like, where they're at, I'd love to see them just kind of go all in. Like, try. They got Frankie Montas, too, from the Reds.
You're a big Montas guy if he can stay healthy.
Yeah, I was about 3 years ago before the shoulder thing. That shoulder thing, that New York run, like, he just hadn't been right since.
Yeah.
The stuff isn't quite the same. They didn't give up much. They gave up Joey Weimer, Jacob Junis. Weimer's an interesting prospect, especially in that ballpark.
Yeah.
Cincy, ball gonna fly. But I don't know. Like nothing they did was needle movers for me.
Right.
You think about the same. They're innings eaters.
Well, I think that maybe they think they're overachieving right now, and they're like,
yeah.
Just let it ride.
Right. But they've got Adames, Hoskins, guys like 1 year deals, and I'm like, man, go after it. But no one really did.
No.
I mean, we'll touch on that later.
And then the Reds and the Pirates, neither one of them did much.
The Reds just light sell. The Pirates, they got Brian De La Cruz.
Okay.
Einer Kalefa. De La Cruz is the bat. I want to see them go in too with Skeens, Keller, the arms they've got. Jones is like, go for it.
Right.
I thought they might get Lou Bob. De La Cruz is a very underrated player. Like he's a solid player. So we'll see. I like their direction they're going. But you got any more thoughts on the Central?
No, I think that pretty much wraps up the Central, and I think that wraps up our first segment as well.
We're gonna take a break.
We're gonna do a quick commercial break, thank our sponsors, and we'll be back with you in a couple minutes.
All right, we'll see you on the other side.
If you're looking for a loan for your brand new home, call Clay County State Bank. If you want to transfer money so your future will look sunny, call Clay County State Bank. We got checking and savings and bill pay too.
An online bank, just ask our crew. For all your banking needs, we think you will agree.
Clay County State Bank is the place you need to be. Clay County State Bank.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield Banking Companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
When a Fairfield fire truck needs a repair, Cam's there to keep things rolling. And as part of the volunteer fire department, Justin's looking out for Cam and all of Fairfield. Everyone supports each other, and Wayne White Electric Cooperative supports them all, with safe, reliable power for every one of our members. It's why REMCs exist, and together, it all works.
Give me all your lumber. Doors, paint, windows, electrical, plumbing, and much more. Oh yeah, give me all your guns too.
John Lucas,
What?
you better be dreaming about all the stuff we sell here at Zink Building Center.
Oh, I would. Zink Building Center in Louisville on Route 45. It's a cool place.
And we are back. Kind of to put a bow tie, too, on that last NL Central conversation. The Pirates didn't get to the end of that. They also traded Quinn Pierster for Nick York of Boston, which is interesting because these are both first-round picks from years ago getting swapped.
Okay.
Well,
Same
he
draft?
plays second base, I believe a year apart.
Okay.
But York plays second base. I think they're going with our philosophy of let's have a million second basemen tried out there. So they got Nick Gonzalez. But talked about moving him around. It could be an interesting bat. They got Jalen Beeks, too, from Colorado. Lefty arm in the pen. Like, they added some pieces.
Yeah.
I still don't think, like, the whole NL Central, it's like, well, it's kind of like the philosophy going into the year. It's like, we've done just enough to make this interesting. But no one really stood
The whole
out.
division is interesting anyway because no one's very good.
Exactly. And after the trade deadline, it's like no one stands out still.
Yeah.
So I really don't know what to think on that. But those are all the moves. Honestly, you know what? Going into this deadline as a whole, if you would have told me Lou Bob wasn't getting moved, Scooble wasn't getting moved.
Crochet wouldn't
Crochet-
get moved. Mason Miller, which different circumstances.
I know. Miss Miller's going to punch a wall so he can stay in Oakland. Don't know about that one.
Why would anyone want to stay in Oakland?
He knows something I
Here
don't
they're
know.
going to Vegas.
I guess so. Maybe he wants to hang on. They'll probably trade him right where they go to Vegas now. Well played, buddy. But yeah, if you look at that as a whole, I'd be like, man, this deadline stunk. Like, it didn't have the big name value. But if you look at what teams did, I was like, actually, I thought this was one of the most fun deadlines in a while.
Yeah.
Like, it was like teams, they filled their needs. A lot of these contenders we're going to talk about, they did. But now it's like, still no one was a clear winner, and like we still don't know what's going to happen. Like a lot of times you're like, oh man, they made the big swing. Favorite.
It feels like a lot of teams were just like, you know what, this guy's not working out for us. That guy's not working out for you. Like, you know, just like maybe getting a little change in scenery.
That's which that's what we're going to talk about. Like Baltimore and Philly could be World Series favorites in each side. Mm-hmm. They made a trade with each other. I was like, this is so cool. There for a little bit, I thought Tampa Bay was like kind of their GM was like the Joker and was just giving out grenades all around the AL East. And it's like, all right, here, let's see who blows who up. I saw they traded with, they traded with Baltimore, Eflin. And then the next thing I saw was Paredes go to New York. I'm like, sweet. You just gave them both loaded ammo and see who wins. Didn't come to fruition because the Cubs trade. But still, I love what both Florida teams did. The Marlins and the Rays, they committed. Like, if we're going to burn this thing down, we're going to burn every square inch. They really did. Like, they just went out and they had a plan. They executed. And, there was not really big prospects moved, but I'm like, you know what? You got a huge quantity. If one or two of these guys hits, you did dang good.
Yeah,
Like, absolutely. You could break down an individual trade for each one, but I like, as a whole, what they did. So for that reason, I've got both of them, too, as winners. And we'll get into some of their individual deals here in a little bit. As far as contending teams, there was 3, I'd say, that really stood out trying to do something.
Okay.
Like the Dodgers. What a shock.
They're always there at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't buy someone.
Well, I think they're still trying to figure out a way to just buy the World Series trophy. I think they are. They're like, hey, Manfred, if we defer, how much? When are you retiring? If we defer $20 million a year, can you just walk that thing to Hollywood? But they got Flaherty, which it's crazy to think like that was possibly the biggest arm that went anywhere.
Yeah, which he's had a very good season in Detroit.
He's looked like an ace again. He has. Yeah. Now, there was a lot of stuff out about his medicals. Like, they said that was a part of the reason why the package was very underwhelming.
Yeah.
Like, I kept waiting. That's another one. It's like, all right, where's the rest of it? Like, what else did you guys get?
Exactly.
So, I still do not understand, which we touched on this one episode, how Kikuchi got more than Flaherty. Don't get it. But they get, getting Flaherty. We talked about the Edmund deal with us, like what all they did to help out their pen too. All around, I think they filled some needs.
Yeah.
I like what they did. Seattle, that was like.
Hey, they got the bats they needed finally.
Right. I had with our buddy Nixon, who shout out, you're gonna be on here someday. But I was talking to him one day. And it was after the Randy A trade. He was like, all right. He's big on them. They're pitching. I'm like, yeah. I was like, their pitching's great. But I was like, you got to get to the postseason for that to matter.
Exactly.
Yeah. And they were trying to get rid of lose that away at the time. They, I was going to say they were trying to piss it away. They basically were. They had a 10-game lead. There it went.
Yeah.
But I was like, no. I was like, nah. I was like, that's great, but not enough. I said, let's see another bat. It was like a day later, they got Justin Turner. What do you think about it now? It's like, dang. I was like, okay, if J-Rod comes back, that could work.
All of a sudden, that lineup doesn't look.
It's more length.
Yeah,
more length.
It doesn't look quite as bad as it used to.
Yeah.
Maybe J-Rod can actually start hitting those home run things.
That would be useful. Quit striking out at 30% rate. It'd be great.
Yeah.
But they did. They made the lineup deeper, filled some needs, and I was like, man, one more bat. I thought they might get Brent Rooker. I was like, all right, they did it.
He didn't even go anywhere.
No, he didn't. Which that's in our losers, Oakland. Don't know what happened there. But, I still think, though, they added Yimi Garcia for the back of the pen, to get to Munoz, their closer.
Yeah.
All around, you look at it, they had a good deadline. They did. A lot of these teams, I think they had a list of needs, and they were just like, yep, check. Not necessarily the best
quality. Feels like what the Cardinals did.
That's what, it is, except I thought it was a good trade. So, yeah, I agree with you, though. It's not a needle mover, but still a good deal. And the other one, San Diego. They gave up a haul for Tanner Scott in that deal. Like they gave up Robbie
That's kind of what they do,
Stone.
though.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the less need philosophy. You know, AJ Preller, lose their GM, and he doesn't care about picks.
Now, if they could only
prospects.
could get those players to perform once they got there.
That would be swell. Yeah,
I think that Juan Soto's only 2 bad seasons.
We're
in San Diego.
It does seem like they play the fantasy GM. Maybe this is why most others don't. It's just like, give me this piece, and let's see what happens.
Yep.
You know. But still, the package they gave up, they gave Snelling, Adam Mazier, Graham Pauley, Jay Brashears, like they gave up a haul for a reliever, and I'm scratching my head. I'm like, how the heck did you get more for a rental reliever than you did Jazz Chisholm?
Well,
I'm not a Jazz fan, but he had 2.5 years of control left. A rental reliever who could go out tomorrow, tear his UCL, be done, and you got
never had
nothing.
him again.
Exactly.
Never pitched.
Which they did get another reliever in the trade, but still that was a big piece. I'm like, he got 2 years of Jazz. I'm like, he didn't get a whole lot for them in my mind. So I didn't quite get that. But on the other hand, screw it. Like their pen, starters can go 5 and dive. Their pen's good enough to carry them.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, right now, this hot take here. Dodgers, Padres matchup in the playoffs. I'm going Padres.
Okay.
What do you think of that?
I mean, the Dodgers are pretty good at choking in the playoffs.
Well, that's a part of it, too. It is. And they got Schulte to run that pin.
That's right.
I trust Schulte. So, that's a hot take. If it happens...
Remember, Dodgers fans.
Yeah.
The Disney World Series does not count.
Remember, Dodgers fans, Aaron Rodgers said all this, not Woody. There we go. No, that was... They took a swing. They got Jason Adam, Tampa Bay, too. Like, good for San Diego. Yankees. What do you think of the Jazz deal? Like,
I mean, great park for him. It's like we were saying before we got traded. Actually, you called it. You said it was going to happen.
If only I got the other 30 picks right.
I think he's already hit 3 or 4 home runs since he's been there.
He had two home run games in like his first 4 with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was doing, and that's the thing with him.
He's
it's
like, you mean all I have to do is pull the ball?
Yeah. Well, he got there. He looked at that porch. He's like, this is a major league ballpark? That's cool. That's right there. I can reach that. I think 1 home run, he used Aaron Judge's bat, too.
Okay, yeah.
It's off a position.
A lot of Euro steps happening.
I know. He probably have to follow through, put the bat down. But that's interesting. Like, I thought it was a perfect fit for him. They got, and Augustin was the prospect back. It was like New York's 16th ranked prospect, Augustin Ramirez, which he's been a big riser. I mean, it's a catcher. I always feel like they're hard to project. So he could prove me wrong a few years. Could be awesome. But that's like, if that's your 20th ranked prospect you're giving up, okay, for Jazz. 2.5 years of control.
Well, I mean, the Padres already have Ethan Salas anyway, as far as their...
Yeah, well, sorry, that was the Marlins.
Oh, that was the Marlins for Jazz.
Deal.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So, yeah, the Yankees, though, they've got a handful of prospect catchers, too. So, you know, wasn't much. I like that move. Do you have any other winners? Like, what do you think?
I mean, personally, I still like the Cubs trading away Morel to get Paredes, but Morel, like you said, does have the underlying numbers that says that he can, bang.
That could be dangerous. I agree. Like, I like what they tried to do. I think they were a very underrated team on this deadline. So, and I like the creativity.
I know who weren't winners, and that's the Oakland A's and the Chicago White Sox, which neither one of them are winners anyhow. So.
No, they don't win at the trade
deadline.
Why
would it be any different now?
Yeah, start now. Wait till next year. Which, like I said, we'll get to some losers here in a little bit. The other interest. All right, we'll go to the top teams with the Phillies and the Baltimore. Like, that was our 2 World Series teams. They did make trades. They did address needs, but I don't think it was anything that like solidified they're the number 1 in each pennant. You know? Baltimore. All right, they got Trevor Rogers from Miami. They also they got Eflin. They made a trade with Philly that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
They traded away Hayes for who did they get in that deal? I have to find it.
I don't know. It's your story, man.
It's my story. They just didn't really. I don't know. I mean, they added starters innings, we talked about them going big, like going after going after Crochet. We don't know what the heck Chicago was wanting for their players. Like, it was like they're holding teams.
Well, Crochet was also demanding that he get paid before he pitched in October, so that probably scared a lot of people away. I was really surprised to see Robert didn't get moved. I thought that he would go somewhere.
The only thing I can think of is they must have been asking a huge package for him, and they didn't want to sell low. Like, with him having another 3 years of control, I wonder if they were thinking, like, hey, if he does have a good second half in the offseason, more suitors.
Okay.
Because so many more teams are there in the offseason that, everybody's got a shot now. You know, like what the Cubs just did, this trade down there. They made a team that's not like World Series contention. It's like, okay. That's
or maybe
something I
they
can figure
wanted
there.
to, respect the 7 fans they have in the seats.
Well, might be. There you go. If so, hey, they ought to have 8 for that. There you go. Bad business. Love the fans. Crochet, like you said, he kind of pitched himself out of a trade somewhat. Yeah. Contenders might have been scared. Don't know. Hayes for Sir Anthony Dominguez. That was the reliever of his.
Sir Anthony.
I mean, you get some name value there. It's pretty cool. Like him. Hayes in Philly. That bat in that ballpark could be a cool match.
Yeah.
I think Camden Yards held him back. We're going to go ahead, take a little break, and it's going to kind of run together our winners and losers on this. But, hey, it's all baseball trades.
That's right.
It's all fun and games, right? So unless you're the White Sox or the A's,
It's never fun.
No. So we're going to take a break, and we'll be back.
Tomorrow. Some fear the uncertainty it brings. Some trust the promise it holds. At Grinnell Mutual, we are always looking forward to tomorrow, growing and innovating. So even if the plans you have for the future aren't the same as the plans that the future holds for you, you can be ready. Because we'll be ready, like we have been for over 100 years. Trust in that. Trust in tomorrow. Talk to your mutual agent today.
Your local agent is on the square. Louisville, Clay County Farmers Mutual Insurance. We like technology at Flora Savings Bank. Here's what you can accomplish in our mobile banking app in less than 30 seconds. See account balances in your transactions, set up an account alert, make a transfer between accounts, get an alert text message about your transfer, pay a bill, turn your debit card off and then back on. It all happens in the palm of your hand with our free My Bank to Go app. Search My Bank to Go in the App Store or Google Play and give mobile banking a try. Flora Savings Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Do you bowl like this? That's great. Do you bowl like this? That's great too. That's because whether you're a pro or you just want to have a lot of fun, at Pegel's Silver Dollar Lanes, we have a lane for you. We have galaxy bowling, gaming for kids and adults, Joe's Pizza, a full bar, darts, pool, and fresh and clean bowling shoes. Boy, does that smell nice. So come on down to Pegel Silver Dollar Lanes in Effingham, where we have a lane for you.
My name is Robin Stanford. I own Stanford Marketing. It's a promotional products business along with an embroidery business. And we do custom hats, t-shirts, anything, you name it, we can make it. People like that we do stuff in-house and we can actually make things here and that we're not contracting the work out to other places. We never say no. We always try to find a way to do it. If anybody can do it, we can do it. We are hardworking women, that is for sure. Come to Stanford Marketing in Flora for all your custom and promotional needs.
I'm just going to hit the button.
Welcome back, and we're going to go through a third segment and talk about our losers of the deadline.
Well, we're just kind of a mixed bag now. We're kind of shooting from the hip. We got some winners with the losers because we're talking over the break.
It's hard not to talk about the losers when you already talked about the winners because
well,
that's who they traded with.
Kind of in a trade, you got a winner, you got a loser most of the time, and so it's running together. But hey, we're here talking baseball. It's fun. Could be worse.
It could be worse.
It could
be like the Chicago White Sox season.
Yeah, I wonder what the over/under was for how many times we'd rip them in this episode.
We're gonna hit the over.
Let's keep at it. They suck. There we go. Okay, so I did discredit, an ex-White Sox. I didn't talk about Eloy Jimenez. Is Baltimore now. I think he went there for just some money for a vending machine in Chicago, I think.
He actually got hurt on the plane.
Was it walking up the steps? That can be pretty tricky. It can be. He didn't stretch. I'm not saying it's going to matter, but I'm intrigued. Like, he's maybe going to be more healthy now that he's playing for a team that wins more than 20 games a year. That's a thought.
Perhaps. He wasn't very healthy the year that the White Sox were actually good either.
Well,
though,
maybe
so.
he just saw where it was going. I didn't say that. I don't know. Yeah, he's a walking hazard, but still talented bat. I don't know what he's going to do there. Like, I kind of want to see Heston Kjerstad out there instead, but probably not going to happen.
Didn't Kjerstad just get hit in the head by a pitch against the Yankees?
Oh, he's fine now.
He's fine.
That's just 7-day IL
hit the hat.
concussion. You'd be fine. Walk it off. It's like I tell. Yeah,
he
he's
did.
done. He got sent back down partially because with this trade, the at bats aren't there. They're gonna. I mean, you might as well put them in the minors. They're so loaded. And I think that's part of what irked me with Baltimore this trade deadline. They, in my mind, are on the cusp of the World Series, and getting Eflin, he's fine. Trevor Rogers, not fine. I don't understand that one, but I was
But he will be in Baltimore.
hadn't looked good so far.
Well,
A little rough. If he still threw 96.7, probably. But 91's not playing well for him. So
that worked well for Wainwright later in his career.
yeah, it did. He had a little more seasoning under him, a little bit. So it might get there for Rodgers. I don't know. At least the porch is way back there. But I just, with this huge amount of prospect capital like they've got, I thought maybe they would be the team.
Or maybe, hear me out. They
Oh,
think
boy.
they're already good enough,
Mhm.
and they're like, we've got a good team.
Yeah.
We've got a good farm.
That's
Let's make
fair.
this a dynasty.
That must be what they're thinking. The kicker
Because
with all
dynasties
dynasties
really happen in baseball.
No, that's very true. But the problem is, like we talked about before, is I think you can only have 9 guys counting the DH in the lineup. And this team could go 15, 16 deep. We just talked about Hurstead down there. Colby Mail finally coming up only because of Jordan Westbrook injury. I just thought maybe they could go from the top of the farm, get an ace, because that's one thing they don't have in the system.
Well, considering I think
But-
they've got 5 guys in the top 30 prospects.
Yes, that's what I was getting at. And who they traded, this deal for Rodgers, they gave up Connor Norby and Kyle Stowers. Like you touched on, that wasn't one of the guys that high.
No.
They were still pretty good regarded prospects. Norby's a 300 hit in the minors, over 900 OPS. Stowers, this is catchy, Stowers, big time power. That
Okay.
rhymed better in my head than it came out.
It did not rhyme at all, but the good try.
That was not my strong suit in school either. Yeah. Stowers, light tire power. Are we getting there?
We're getting
No. Damn. Yeah.
Better luck next time.
We'll move on. He does have big pop. He's going to Miami where he can play every day. I guess I'm okay.
I think I could play every day in Miami.
Oh, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got the name value. That should count for something. Aaron Rodgers.
Trevor Rogers.
They're
I
gonna-
mean, he's pitching somewhere, so.
So Aaron, I meant the quarterback aspect.
Gotcha, yeah,
You've advertised Aaron Rodgers is coming, but that's fine. Little off there. But yeah, I just thought I would have rather seen them give up the higher prospects for a higher return than take the low-hanging fruit and these are decent players. That's the one. I thought that was a pretty big ask.
Did they make that already very good team that much better?
Do these kids, or you mean Trevor Rogers?
The people that they got, Trevor Rogers and.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think they do either.
That's my problem.
Yeah, okay.
I'm get something, give up something to get something that's actually going to make you the World Series favorite, not a World Series contender where they're at now. But you're right. Maybe they wanted to save those guys.
They're thinking dynasty, man. Or maybe,
I guess, but you still got to pay them if they're that good.
Maybe
you know
they're
what I'm
waiting
saying?
for Philly to just fizzle out.
Well, that's happening. They're struggling.
Yeah.
They, for them on this whole trade circle, I do like getting Hayes, like talked about. Basically, these teams swap bullpen pieces. We'll see how it works out. But I like it. They're trading each other, both contending. Philly also added Carlos Estevez from L.A. They gave up pretty high-ranked prospects in their system for him, but pair him with Hoffman, with the lefty Alvarado.
Yep.
Their pen.
And their pins in the past not been very good. That's always been kind of the kryptonite of a Philly
their
team. Their
Achilles heel.
lineup's amazing. Their starting pitching's really good, at least the top 3. And then after that, their bullpen kind of is the nagging Achilles heel for that team.
Yeah.
Maybe we're not going to see that this year. Their bullpen actually looks really good right now.
It does.
Of course, since the deadline, they can't hit anymore. So
What? And their starting pitching's falling apart. You got Noah Wheeler. Christopher Sanchez is turning into a pumpkin again. Ranger Suarez is on the IL, the back. And going into the deadline, though, it's they don't need it. And then literally right after.
Well, I mean, I've always said along that, when you came to the playoffs, you had Nola and you had Wheeler that you can trust. After that, you had
You're
3
right.
guys that were pitching very well through the season, but,
they don't scare you.
They don't scare you.
They don't scare you. No, you're right. If you win one game with those guys, you're set. But still, it hurts right
A lot
now.
of times, 2 studs like those It's
carry
enough
you.
to carry you through a series.
Well, it knocked us out the last time we played the playoffs. We had Wheeler Noah, and it even overrode the Pujols magic. It was kind of rough, but
Yeah.
you know. The other, all right, here's two other contenders that were kind of sneaky ads. You remember Lane Thomas, our boy that rode the bench a lot?
Yep.
Yeah, he turned in a pretty good hitter in Washington. Worked out well for
Well,
them.
actually, I think didn't he have a couple good years? No, that was Wisdom.
With us.
I was thinking.
He did in the minors. Thomas did for us, but
Yeah, I was thinking that he played somewhere after that in the majors, but I could.
Lane Thomas. No, he went to Washington. That was
Okay.
in the John Lester.
I was thinking Patrick
deal, I
Wisdom
believe.
with the Cubs.
Yeah, he did pretty good elsewhere. He
Yeah.
Texas is where he went,
Mhm.
and then went to Chicago. I mean, part of the reason he was in the lineup is because, well, they sucked at the time, and someone had to play third, and he had a lot of homers. But
Yeah.
that was good for him. That's our Patrick Wisdom shout out. So, but yeah, I like Lane Thomas in the lineup. Like he's hitting right behind Quan, ahead of Ramirez, Josh Naylor.
That's a pretty good guy to be tucked. Pretty good spot to be tucked in.
It's
You
like
know.
you just need to
They're
get on
gonna pitch to
base,
you.
and yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, he's gonna steal a lot of hittable pitches. Like, great spot for him. You know, that was an intriguing deal, and they added Alex Cobb. He's still alive and pitching. Didn't
Wow.
know that. I wish Cleveland, like, this is your team. What do you want to see him do? Like, you've been the Cleveland guy. Like, go crazy?
I mean, I just had to win in the division, man. I thought that their pitching was going to be the thing that carried that thing.
Did you want him to get another pitcher? Rick Vaughn?
Honestly,
Rick Vaughn?
No.
Ooh, bring him back.
Get all 99 going. No, I think they could have used another starter just because, I mean, they don't have Bieber. I think.
Yeah, that really hurts.
Bobby, is he hurt too?
He is minor. I think he left to start with cramps or something. I
Yeah.
mean, with pitcher, you never know, though, if it really isn't major or minor. McKenzie has been garbage. Like,
oh, yeah. McKenzie has been complete
Ga-
dumpster fire.
Yeah, Gavin Williams has came back. He's the one that's had elbow injuries all year, and he's
Yep.
not looked good. Like, I agree. Is Alex Cobb the answer? I don't think so. But it's another arm. We'll see.
But it turns out it doesn't matter when you got J-Ram, a.k.a. better than Barry Bonds.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's why he gets walked like that. And, you know, I mean, he's got the swag. You know, I
Yeah.
don't think we quite have the 70 homers Bonds did, but you know.
73.
It was gives J-Ram some roids, see what happens. Here he goes. Not advocating for that, sorry. But interesting ads. Arizona. That's like my dark horse NL team.
I've not seen it this year.
They added, hear me out, they're getting their pitching back healthy. I hope Monty pitches somewhat like Monty can.
Yeah. I hope he doesn't. He comes back to St. Louis next year. But
If he what?
I hope he doesn't and he comes back to St. Louis after the trade deadline.
Yeah,
next year,
yeah.
man.
Well, I think
he signed a 2-year deal, right?
Well, I think it was 1 year with a player. It was a player mutual. We'd have to look into that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if the door's open there because if it's a player option way he's pitched this year, I'm like, give me my money. I'll run it back. So I don't know about that one. But they got AJ Puck. They got this Dylan Floro guy that I was like, man.
Are you still high on Puck?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm high on Puck. He's out of Miami. He's going to be fine. I am not high on AJ Puck as a starter. No. That crashed and burned.
Yeah.
Here, you want another bold take? Might be their closer by the end of the year.
Okay.
Paul Sewald is really struggling. There's a possibility. Oh, here we go. Montgomery. We got 2024.
It is
2025.
player option.
He's back in Arizona. That's $25 million for how he's pitching.
Take it.
Sucks to be Arizona. So, yeah, it's not great. But and they got Erod back. He's just coming back, I think, tonight. So we'll see how that goes. And you're gonna love this one. The Josh Bell sweepstakes of the year. You called that one. If I get Chisholm.
He just gets trades done. This time it was just, he was the trade. They actually targeted him. He wasn't a throw-in. I think they just gave some cash for him.
They did. It's another vending machine restock. It also helps that Christian Walker, he went down. I'm not laughing at it, but he got hurt like maybe 4 hours before, and it's like, well, crap, Josh Bell's out there somewhere. Let's go get Josh Bell. Sure. I think he homered. Maybe his first game with him, he had a 2-homer game.
That actual game... That game started out with an inside the park home run, and then 3 consecutive home runs.
That's right. Yeah, it was at Peterson and all.
Yeah.
Carroll had the inside the Parker.
Yep. Yeah. Little league home run. I think it was in
still
triple
counts.
in there.
Looks just as good on the stat page. Kansas City too. That is the other one. They added Hunter Harvey. Lucas Ehrig from Oakland.
Hunter Harvey still plays professional?
I think you're thinking of Matt Harvey.
Yeah, I did
the way
that
you
last
said
time,
that.
too.
Yeah. It's in the dark night. It's the Kansas City night. We'll see how it works.
Well, you know.
Might end up being their closer in the year. We'll see. They gave up a lot for him, but good for them. And move over Bobby Witt Jr., Paul DeYoung's in town. Had a great year, buddy. That's not an official take, okay? No. Witt's been amazing. He's possible MVP. So that's really the contenders, like where I'm at on it. There were some contenders that disappointed me, like Atlanta. They got some solar power.
Well, that being said, I think that Atlanta's hopes and dreams have been kind of crushed with injuries, and they're just at this point is like, you know what? We'll wait until next year.
Are you saying when you lose your best hitter, your best pitcher, and about a third of the starters? Like,
yeah, I think
it's hard to
Albie's
overcome.
hurt too.
Yeah.
I know that Harris
he
Jr.
might
or Harris
be out
second.
the rest of the year. It's gonna be close.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Harris is close to back.
At this
but
point, their team's in shambles, so they just need to chalk it up to next year.
Yep. So we're gonna go ahead. We'll wrap this up with a few more of the losers. You know, we saved the worst. There we go. And a little bit of our outlook when we come back. So you know, we're gonna keep
We're
you
gonna
hanging.
break one more time, and we'll come back and wrap it all up for you.
Absolutely.
Put
Stay
a bow
tuned.
on it.
There we go. Nicely tied bow. I like that.
Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop. At your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville, you can count on experts to have the solutions to keep you running on the road or in the field. More than just your car, the Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville carry a large inventory of Napa products for farms, heavy trucks, and just about everything that moves. Experienced associates understand your needs and are ready to help with the perfect part at a great value. That's Napa Know-How at your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville.
Carson Auction Realty is the one-stop shop for all your real estate needs. With over 40 years in business, Carson Auction Realty is the only company in the area that offers public auctions, real estate brokerage, and certified appraisals. If you're considering selling your farm, home, or commercial property, give us a call, and we can assist you in every step of your real estate sale, from pricing your property correctly to properly marketing to find any and potential buyers, and most importantly, selling property for top dollar. To contact us, go to our website, carsonauctionrealty.com, or call our office at 662-4911.
And we are back. So, before we talk losers as we teased, I missed something. My bad. I swear I wasn't trying to overlook or discredit you and those amazing Mets. Hey.
They're going to win that division. No, they're not going to win that division.
Did you
but
know
they're going to make the
Phillies-
playoffs.
Well, if they realign the divisions with 20 games to go and they put them in the Central, there you go. Mark it down.
No, I stand by what I said in our preseason rankings, that they are going to sneak and steal one of those wild cards.
I felt so confident. I was like, you idiot. They're not going to do it.
Right
They're doing
now,
better than my Blue Jays.
Right now, they might
Canada.
actually pull it off.
Yeah, I could see it. Nothing they did at this deadline like really stood out. Like, oh my gosh. I mean,
when you're already great, why try to improve? You've got Grimace.
They're gonna have Nolan Ryan.
You've got a Latin pop star. What more do you need?
Dude, I don't know. Taylor Swift, that might help. But, you know, who needs that when you just got Paul Blackburn?
Ooh, Paul Blackburn.
I mean, he's a sneaky ad. I'm not going to lie. I like what he did in Oakland. The ground ball thing works out pretty well for him. They needed another pitcher.
They did.
This is another checklist. Got it.
Turns out signing 35-year-olds to pitching to, like extremely
That's our
expensive
strategy.
deals. Well, no, but we didn't pay Justin Verlander
Oh.
and Max Scherzer
That's a 40-year-old pitcher.
$1
Yeah, oh my gosh, that's a good point. They signed both those guys. What were they, like 40 and 41?
Yeah, and
it didn't work out.
I think they combined, those two were making like $74 million.
It was stupid. I mean, they literally in those trades, yes, they got a small prospect haul, but it's like, yeah, pay a third of their Social Security and take them, and, oh my gosh.
I think Scherzer just actually went back on the IL.
He's done. And
Yeah.
I don't mean this any disrespect to Mad Max. Honestly, might be my favorite pitcher all time. The intensity.
Verlander's my favorite of all time.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Like, we don't mean to rip these guys. This is ripping the Mets business philosophy at the time. It was like, I feel like their owner, it's like, all right, I just got a baseball team. I got a crap ton of money. It's like when you get that money, get a new car. It's like, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to buy that.
You know,
Didn't work
Steve
out.
Cohen's been pretty quiet since that season.
Well, look at their offseason, what they did now. And, like, he's running it more like a baseball team, not just a Monopoly money. So, but back to this year, they addressed the pen. They got Ryan Stanek, Phil Maton. I'm telling you what, they got Jesse Winkler, too. Lefty bat in that lineup. He's another guy. You know what? I wonder who between Josh Bell and Jesse Winkler's played on more teams.
Well, I know Winkers played on the Reds.
He was on the NL Central Tour, the Brewers.
The Reds, the Brewers.
Seattle.
He went to Seattle.
The Mets, Washington.
That
might be it. That might be it.
It's Josh Bell.
Yeah, that's a close one.
Josh Bell's been traded more times than Winkers changed teams.
Especially as a supplemental package. Just like,
Player
you got
name later.
Lonzo.
Oh, it's Josh Bell.
And Josh Bell. But, yeah, they did that. And I'll tell you what, my Nats, too. I like what they did. Nothing big, but they sold the pieces necessary. And you watch it next year.
An attitude, yep.
The Nats are your Mets. That's where they're going to be. They're going to be pushing the playoffs. I like their outfield. C.J. Abrams, love him. Like, need to find some pitching, but they'll do that. It'll be
Speaking of which, we need to bring back one of our old YouTube videos here pretty soon and find out our division winners. And
we do not. We do not. Yeah, that was not Wabash, so it does not count. So sorry. I'm a man of my word. I don't remember what stupid thing I said I'd do, but we'll address that later. Jesse Winkler went where? Stat guy. All right. Some more. The Red Sox. They got Lucas Sims.
Oh, Winkler's been in Cleveland.
Oh, Believeland. There you go.
Believeland.
All right, so Winkler's been a few more spots than we thought.
Okay.
Toss up. Oh my gosh, this is fun. Look at that, guys.
Everywhere.
Ooh, Pittsburgh. That's what I was looking at. So Pittsburgh, Washington. Hey, can you add that up for us? That's a lot of teams,
1,
guys.
2,
Thank
3,
you.
4. He's been on 6 teams. Josh Bell's been on 6.
And Winkler's been on 5.
But he's on he is on the tour
He's on
these
the
last
pace,
5
yeah.
years.
He's on the pace to beat Josh Bell. That'll be a close one. Side bet on that one. Okay, back to the original programming. The Red Sox didn't do much. I wanted to see them get aggressive, but I think they're a year ahead of schedule.
That's just another team that I think they're just like, we're happy.
We're
super glad to be where we're at.
That's one I get where they're like, it's different than Baltimore. Like, I don't want every team to trade their prospects, but Boston, it's like, okay, keep these guys, stay with your plan. You overachieved.
Yeah, Red Sox fans are like, this is great.
Yeah, and the scary thing with them, they always have this.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to look at that free agent class, and I'm going to tell you what, I could see Corbin Burns, somebody there next year. They're going to be back. Like, that's scary. That's scary. Texas did nothing. I'm also not ripping them because they just won the World Series last year.
They're having a little bit of a World Series hangover right now. Both World Series teams are having a little bit of a World Series hangover.
They really are. They've had a lot of injuries. Like, both teams have,
Yeah.
What did both teams do last year, though? They got hot into the year, got in. I think Arizona has a way better chance of doing that again this year.
See, I thought Arizona was kind of the fluke team last year.
I thought they were a year ahead of schedule last year.
Okay.
I thought they had young talent. I really did. Carroll, what all they have going on there. But I thought they were a year ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
So I was a little surprised, but I still think they have staying power to be around. Texas does too. Like, they're not a bad team, but
they're not that young, but they still got a pretty potent lineup.
yeah, they do. They've got a good combination of veterans and youth.
Turns out Adolis Garcia is human, so
Yeah, he's not looked great.
No.
It's not. It's like, hey, you see Mo's gonna be there like, told you guys. Look at us now. Look at Randy A's doing. Look at Adolis, Thomas, who's the other? Wisdom.
Who cares if all those teams
I knew
went to the
it
World
all
Series at
along.
one point in time?
That's what I saw something. They said, all right, so now that Randy A's traded, does that mean the Cardinals won the trade? I'm like, no, you idiots. I'm like, come on. It's like, well, they didn't win the World Series. He got him there. He almost single-handedly won it.
He tried to will that team to a World Series.
Well, I think of all the revenue he brought in for them then and what all he did. Like, Randy A was an all-star. No. Like, yeah, Libertor's on our roster. I'll take whatever the heck they got in their haul for Randy A. Like, come on. So, anyway, there's my witty rant for the day.
Yeah.
But, what else we got here? Colorado is stupid. It's my exact notes.
Okay, well, you're not wrong. At least they didn't trade their best player for nothing this year.
Well, they didn't trade their best player for nothing. They didn't spend $180 million on Chris Bryant. So, at least we're maybe doing nothing is their smart path.
So let's pay Nolan Arenado, and then pay someone to take him.
Trevor Story too.
Oh yeah,
that's the other one. That it's like everyone knew. What are they gonna get? What are they gonna get? Nah, they got.
Well, they did the same thing with Tulowitzki as well.
You're right.
Yeah.
Didn't they trade him to Toronto?
Yes.
But it was not like peak Tulo. Like
yeah,
if I
it
remember,
was after
it's
after he started his injury train.
Yes, and that never stopped until he retired.
No,
it did not. But I thought McMahon, Cal Quantrill, I was like, these guys that are doing
I was
good.
shocked to see McMahon didn't get moved. He was one of the biggest talked about people in the deadline. Because, I mean, great bat. Maybe everyone's scared that bat's not going to translate outside of Colorado.
I'll tell you what, that's a possibility, given that. But I had the Yankees circled again for him. I'm glad my Jazz one came true.
Well, because LeMahieu's not really doing his thing.
Not doing anything. Rizzo's probably done. Ben
Yeah.
Rice is cooled off. And the cool thing with him, okay, honestly, he can play every infield position except for short and catcher. And they are weak at third. They're weak at second. Glaber's been terrible.
Glaber's.
I don't know where Jazz will play. But
I
that'll
thought
help
Glaber
somewhere.
just got sent down.
No, he didn't get sent down. He got benched because he didn't
Same
want to
thing,
run very
same
hard. Basically. He's getting benched every couple weeks because he does something stupid. So, but point being, like, they're weak in a lot of spots, and I was like, McMahon in that ballpark too. That lineup, like, hello. They got prospects.
If I'm the Yankees, I'm just batting 9 lefties.
No.
9 lefties that hit the ball hard.
Oh, with that porch. I get where you're going there. Well, yeah, it'd be like, the Astros in Houston. Like,
But then
get you
again,
some-
there's some.
Well, I think that ballpark actually plays well everywhere now that I think about it. But you're right. That right field porch is like, come get me.
Yeah.
So he would have been fun there. I don't know. Like these teams like Colorado, the White Sox, A's, like all these guys is like, you suck. Sell the farm. Like
do something.
You're not gonna win. If you're not gonna win,
You're not even good at sucking.
Exactly. Like yeah. Well, I mean, I guess the White Sox are because they can't win a single game. Like they have perfected.
I still don't know. Stat guy, did the White Sox lose tonight? Because
Here's
that
the
would
other
be
thing.
the longest losing streak since like the 60-something
Yeah,
Orioles.
forever. What I like with baseball, tanking's not
they haven't
necessarily
played yet.
rewarded. Oh, give them time.
They're playing in Oakland. So,
Okay,
I
give
mean,
them-
it's the battle of the Sox.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, give them 3 hours and it'll be at 23 or whatever it is. But I just don't get it. Like when you don't have a window to win for the foreseeable future, like get assets, make a run at it. I don't know, but that's how they end up here. I guess.
I mean, that's how the Cubs got a World Series.
Well, but see, that's what I started to say. The tanking. Now there's a lottery. You don't even know you're getting the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
Cleveland just got the number 1 pick. They had like a 3% odds. Like, I'm not saying they rigged the lottery, but it's like, hey, if you guys aren't even trying to win, screw you. So, I don't know. I'm not saying that happens. I just don't know what's going on there. But the White Sox, like I thought they were big losers. I thought, like we said, Rivera, Crochet. Yeah, I started it. Yeah, I started to say if Miguel Vargas, he's gonna get a runway. If he could but no, like if he could do something, there's something. But what else do you have around him? Like,
yeah, by the time Vargas's contract is up,
yeah,
there's not even enough to come and save him.
The only thing for the White Sox, like I know we have some White Sox fans out there that we've probably pissed off pretty good by now.
Well,
all
6 of them.
But what I will say is it seems as though they're doing something right with pitching development, like with what they've done with Crochet.
Okay.
When they got Fetty, what they did with him. There's a couple cases there, like there might be something there. I'm really scraping the bottom of the barrel here, though. But,
they're really good at
maybe promotions. I don't know. We've not
making other teams look good.
Yeah, someone's got to be 30th for this whole thing to work.
Like in boxing where they have like those get right matches, where it's like a guy's just he's lost 2 or 3 in a row. And
I was thinking UFC. Yeah,
it's like they need a tune-up. They need a tune-up.
Yeah,
so like the White Sox are that tune-up.
I got a better one. They're the blood donor in college football. We're gonna pay you $2 million. Come in here and get the crap kicked out of you. Thank you. You came to Alabama. Now we got our practice in. See ya. That's
Thank
where
you,
we're at.
Kennesaw State.
Every year. Oh, I was thinking like poor Lindenwood University out there. Like they're actually pretty good where they're at, but they play Kansas a few weeks. Like, yeah, not gonna work. But you know, we touched on the A's. Like, I don't know why they didn't trade Brent Rooker. I don't know. I will say like they figured something out on hitting the ball. Like they've had some guys come up like Lawrence Butler went just nuts. They've got Geloff. They've got some talent. Do I think they're gonna build a winning team? No, but I just don't know. The Angels, that was the other one. They did a very good job moving Carlos Estevez, but it's like you held on to Taylor Ward. Like, gosh dang, Kevin Pillar, lefty.
Yeah, I thought Pillar would be moved in this deadline.
Yeah.
I actually kind of was hoping the Cardinals would try to grab him.
Well, I was too until I saw Pham, and then I was like, all right, there's our righty back.
I think Pham ended up being a better deal.
Oh, absolutely, and he brings the Tommy Pham, like the charisma. That's what I was
yeah.
looking for. Man, I mean, he's enthusiastic.
He's not the hero that we wanted. He's the hero that we needed.
How many Batman references are we gonna have in one? He literally is our Dark Knight. Like, yeah. I love what he brings. I like him better. Who was I trying to think of? Lefty pitcher for them that I talked about trading all the time. The Angels. Yeah, Tyler Anderson. Thank you. Man,
yes.
Brain fade. Yeah, I thought they'd trade him. He's got a year left on his contract, $13 million. He's pitching great. They're not great. Trade him.
I also thought that we'd see Joe Adell on the move.
I wanted it. I wanted it from a homeboy. Like, that's my guy. I wanted to see him land somewhere else. It's like I was hoping, like with Carlson, you know, where we, in a way, kind of did him a favor.
Yeah,
I'm like,
we're good at doing those people favors.
Yeah,
and letting them get out of town and start dominating elsewhere.
Yeah, pretty much. So we'll see. Draft Carlson for fantasy, and buy some jerseys, I guess, or buy his rookie cards cheap. We'll see.
Had he hit a home run in St. Louis this year?
No, he had not.
Okay,
And 120 at bats, and it took. I believe that was off Kikuchi too.
Yeah.
Which it probably was a Crawford box shot, right-handed.
It was right-handed, yeah.
Yeah, right-handed. So and that's what we talked about here was him just hitting right-handed because he was terrible lefty. It was like,
well, he's also terrible righty for us. So.
Well, true. He's just terrible all the way around, and the defense even went at the end. So, I guess to wrap it up, like I still think big picture outlook, Philly and Baltimore, the two I'm looking at in this thing. They both slumped a little lately. The Dodgers are going to be there.
Astros. They're waning off a little bit.
That's one I missed. I was going to rip them for what they gave for Kikuchi. Like, they gave up Loperfino. I don't know how I missed this one. They gave up one of their top starters. Like, they gave up a haul for Kikuchi. I was like, what are you guys doing? His first start in Houston, he strikes out 11.
There you go.
Okay, I guess they saw something there. I'll shut up. So, but yeah, they did. They gave up a lot, but they saw something. The track record, you go with it.
Yeah.
So, that's about all I've got on our deadline. You have any other thoughts? Like,
no, I think that we covered about everything we wanted to, and
do you think we talked about the White Sox being bad enough?
No, probably not. But it could always be worse. But thanks everyone for watching.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't forget to like, subscribe.
Thank you for getting us to 500. Like, that's awesome.
We're actually almost to 600 now.
Hey, there we go. Like, this is a dream for us. It really is. And we thank you guys for coming along. Hope you enjoy the ride.
And check us out on TikTok too, trying to get to 1,000 there for our next threshold.
That's right.
And thanks everyone for watching.
Yeah. Everybody have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you.